All right, collard greens tutorial 101. These are collards. This is how they look. They're the biggest ones. So I always have more collards than anything else, but I also mix in a cabbage, kale, as well as spinach. This is called a super greens combo. I don't have as much kale, as much spinach as I do collards, because collards is the primary flavor that I go with. So if you've ever had greens that you didn't like, it's a possibility they mixed in mustards or turnips or something like that. I personally don't like turnip greens. I don't like mustard greens. I prefer collards. So when you're making it, and even when you taste someone else's, ask them, are they collards, are they mustards, or are they turnips? Because that's going to determine whether or not you'll like them. So these are my super greens. And then these are my peppers and onions that I chop up. I usually do a half of each one of these. And then I already have my onions chopped. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to saute this in a skillet, you know, like you would saute anything else. And then I'm going to add these sauteed to this smoked turkey, and I'm literally gonna let this smoked turkey cook until it falls off the bone. This is the key to getting the flavors that you want in the greens. So you're gonna cook this smoked turkey until it falls off the bone, and then after you do that, then you'll add your collards mix to it. All right, and the last part of my ingredients, it's early, my brain is not yet working, is vegetable stock, unsalted, because with smoked turkey, it's going to be pretty salty, so it'll make your greens a little salty if you don't use an unsalted. You can use a chicken stock, you can use a beef stock, any stock that you want to use. This time I'm going to use a vegetable stock that's unsalted. All right, so as you can see, the steam is getting my phone. Let me go this way. All right, so as you can see, I've got all my peppers and onions all mixed together. It's the red, gold, and green, which I absolutely love. This is what I'm gonna use for my vegetable stock, as well as for my smoked turkey. So all of this is gonna be cooked together. So after these are nice and sauteed, I'm gonna add my vegetable stock, and then I'll add my smoked turkey, and I'll literally let this cook maybe for about an hour or two with the smoked turkey until the smoked turkey falls off the bone. Now, if you want to make this vegetarian and you don't want to use a smoked turkey, you can use any smoked meat that you like, of course. Our choice is just smoked turkey for the protein. But you can also use a liquid smoke. So you would just add the liquid smoke into this as it's cooking. You can also add your seasoning. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of Himalaya pink salt. I don't use the regular white salt. I'm going to add a little bit of Himalaya pink salt. I'm going to add some crushed black pepper. And I'm also going to add some red pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. And just mix it all together until those beautiful flavors come together, and you'll be able to really smell how amazing this is. One more time so you can actually see all of my seasonings are in here now. I wish you could smell how amazing this smells. And I'm just going to kind of keep cooking it. Oh, and I also added olive oil to saute in. So I probably need to say that I added a little olive oil, maybe about half a cup. Of olive oil, because I have a lot of peppers. I'm making a big pot of greens, and I'm going to be posting a link with the recipe, so be sure to look out for that. That has all the measurements and ingredients and all that good stuff in more detail. All right, so I've added my vegetable stock. I've added more water than vegetable stock, or it's probably half and half vegetable stock, half water. I've only used one container of the vegetable stock, so I usually do 2 containers of vegetable stock, so it's half vegetable stock, half water. And then I also added my smoked turkey. So my smoked turkey is submerged in there. I'm gonna cover it and let it cook. Cover it and let it cook. Okay, the last part of this process is prepping your collard greens. Now, you do have the option of buying greens that are already in a bag, that are already chopped up. I still encourage you to wash them, even though they're in the bag and they say pre-washed. But if you decide to go to the farmer's market, like is typically what I do, I go farmer's market and get all of my produce, if I can find them. This is how you cut up these big collards. You don't want to put them in the pot like this. So what I do is I make a nice little stack. This is how my grandmother showed me how to do it. I make a nice little stack and then I roll it up just like this. I roll it, right? And then I just literally get those little stalks off, which is a lot of protein in that. Not protein, nutrients in that. And then I just cut. And so I'm making nice little pinwheels. That's literally what they look like. And I keep doing this until they're all chopped up and ready for the pot. So my collards are nice and cut up and ready for the pot. My kale and spinach cleaned and ready for the pot. And typically I begin with cooking my cabbage first. Cabbage is a little thicker, and so I always start off by placing my cabbage. Sorry for the steam. I start off by placing my cabbage in the pot first, and just let it kind of simmer with the smoked turkey while it's still going through the process of tenderizing and falling off the bone. You'll see over here in this pot, I've still got my greens roux. I guess that's what I can call it, the roux for my greens. Still brewing over here with the other smoked turkey. Like I said, if you want to do a vegetarian, vegan style, you can just use liquid smoke to get that smoky flavor. Everybody in my family is not vegan, vegetarian, so I always make my greens to accommodate everyone in the household, so it's all good. So last step, now that the cabbage is cooked down a little bit, I've taken a little bit of my roux and transferred it over to the pot that is cooking the greens, and I'm letting that simmer. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my collards, let it cook down and cover until all of these are in the pot. And yes, it'll all fit. And then after they've cooked down a little bit, then I'll go ahead and add my kale and spinach, and then I'll show you what we have, finished product. All right, so here is the final product. A nice pot of super greens. I like to make sure that my greens have a lot of broth. This broth, you can just drink this broth and just healing will come to your body just from the broth itself. So this is ready. It always tastes even better the second day. I don't know what it is about collards or just greens period, that after you cook them on day one and you let them sit overnight and then you warm them the next day, they just have this to them. And what I'm gonna add is crushed red pepper and black pepper just to the final product. I usually wait to add my crushed red pepper and black pepper. If you don't like spicy, don't add that. But we like a little spice to our greens. And then of course, last but certainly not least, is the cornbread. And this is our favorite one. I know a lot of people, you know, like Jiffy, but let me tell you something about this honey cornbread. Hunty. It's dangerous. Eat with care. So I hope that you will share with me your recipe. I want to see how yours turned out. Send me videos, DM me, send me messages. I hope that you will download our recipe for our super greens. And you know, we're almost a few weeks away from Thanksgiving, and so I hope that you will enjoy this amazing pot, not only for your family, but also I hope that you will make it a habit of making these at least twice a month. Our goal is to make them at least once a week or every other week if we can. And this is it. This is dinner. This is dinner. This is dinner, honey. This is dinner. You got your protein, you got your super greens, and you got your cornbread. Enjoy. And just for a final viewing, I love to add my cornbread and my greens together. Some people eat theirs separate, but I love to make like a pot liquor. I think that's what they used to call it back in the day. So I'm gonna literally add my greens with my cornbread together. And there you have it. Enjoy.